Welcome back. Well, have you ever wondered if you're being paid what you're really worth?
Here to crunch the numbers and reveal whether you should be asking for a pay rise is Money Magazine's Effie Zahos. Effie, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So how can people find out the average salary of their profession?
Well, there's a number of online calculators that are so simple to use. You just punch in your job title and location. They're the simple ones, and then out pops the average salary or wage for that profession. Some have a few more filters, like, you know, level of expertise, years in there, any skills that you may have that are specific to that industry. So some ones worth looking at: a pay scale. Another one is Hayes. Michael Page is another one. Hudson. They're all on the site, and you can go both domestic and international, which is good.
And you've already crunched the numbers for some of the more popular professions, starting with teachers. Tell us about that.
So a teacher in Melbourne, these are averages, so let's remember that, $20 to $25 per hour.
What about bank teller in Sydney?
Bank teller in Sydney is about $40,000 to $51,000 per year. So this is a good indication to see, am I getting that? Is it lower? Is it higher? And then give you something to negotiate with your employer.
Give us an idea, if you're a registered nurse in Brisbane, what you should be earning.
$29 to $36 per hour if you're in Brisbane.
OK, and the average pay for a plumber in Adelaide?
$44 to $71, not bad. $44 to $71,000 per year.
And an electrician in Brisbane?
Slightly higher, $47,000 to $83,000 per year. So again, I just want to stress that these are averages punched out from these websites.
Why do they differ?
Well, in location they can differ, the skill that you have. So when it comes to looking at a wage and you're thinking, gee, I'm paid actually more than that, that could be great because you may have a skill that is specific to that area. Also, profiling, I'm finding, or branding, if you've got that, depending on your industry, does add some weight. So if you can draw in the customers for whatever reason, that's another reason why you may be paid more.
All right. So if you've calculated the average and you think you're being underpaid, what should you do other than the obvious of asking for a pay rise, and how do you go about that? Yeah,
look, at the moment, it's a pretty good time to actually ask for a pay rise. We keep hearing that wages are stagnant. ABS statistics show that wage growth was about 2.1% last year. It's nothing big, and most of that is in the actual public sector, not private. So it is a pretty good time to actually ask for a pay rise. Hayes, the website, is saying that 86% of employers are saying that we will give people a pay rise this year, but not much, under 3%.
Can I say this?
Yes.
How do we even justify that, given... I don't know how a small business survives. $25 an hour for employees, right?
Yes.
That is a huge amount of money if it's just a base job, you're coming out of school, or it's a part-time job. $25 now, how do you even cover your costs if you've got a small business? Do we need wages to go up?
Well, we do, because the cost of living has actually gone up. So we do need wages to go up. And they're averages. When you look at what the base wage can be, it's a lot less than that. People are trying to live off and sustain on that. But the question you were asking, Georgie, is if you don't get a pay rise, and that's going to be the likelihood, bosses are going to say, we can't afford this. But the cost of living has gone up. You're going to have to think different or smarter how to get it. The number one thing besides a pay rise is flexibility in hours. People are quite happy to say, OK, I'm working really hard, you can't afford it, let me work 4 days instead of 5 days. The other thing is people are saying, well, get me fit, get me healthy, because health is a big thing, pay for some of that. Some people are saying, well, 20 days a year is not enough, I work really hard, you can't afford a pay rise. I haven't had one for, say, 10 years because wages have been stagnant. Give me more than 20 days per year, which is the standard. And then you've got the other perks, like, you know, pay for my mobile phone, or pay for my, you know, education.
Yes.
Because
find other perks.
Find other perks, because these are dollar values that your employer may be able to afford, in your case, Carl, instead of giving actual cold, hard cash.
I've got great sympathy for small businesses. They're the lifeblood of the Australian economy.
Yeah.
And I just, and my partner has a small business, but and wages, you know, they're the most significant cost generally. How do they afford them? How they cover costs on a weekly basis is very difficult. Well,
it's kind of a give and take, isn't it? Because businesses are screaming that sales, especially in what industry you're in. If you're in retail, well, I'm sorry to say, this segment's probably not going to relate to you. It's so hard to get a pay rise in retail because we're not just spending, you know, in department stores and so on. But if you're in another area, then maybe. So you've got to pick and choose. But having said that, Carl, the cost of living for the average household who have not seen a wage increase, they're in dire straits. They're just not keeping up with the electricity bills, you know, your IT bills.
Rent.
I get small businesses, and then throw on top of that, they've got to pay super as well. So it is difficult for small businesses.
Tough
Some are
at both
trying.
ends.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Good on you. Lovely to see you
Good
again.
information, Effie.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
More smart money tips, head to ninesaver.com.au.